And to end the night for distance night in Eugene, women's 5,000 meters. And Des, as we get underway, and we see the pace setters, Beatrice Chibet and Kate Van Buskirk, go to the front, do have that light wave technology, wave light they call it, with both a couple of different colors. The green is really the eventual target time of trying to break that world record, and blue up there with it as well is the pace for the race at this point. And they can maneuver that color and separate them and have things go a little faster and slower. And we hear that what Hassan has asked for is sort of like a steady, even pace early and then really crank it up at the end.
It makes a ton of sense. It's traditional to her style. And you can see him coming in handy right now as the pacers were jumped out really quick early and she was just following that blue light. They're settling in now and you can see the group kind of coming back together. They're still out a little bit in front of her, but she's right on that green mark and she knows that that's where she wants to be, so she's aware of it, and the pacers are doing their job just holding out front in that blue line.
And Des, in a race like this where you've got somebody attacking the world record, it makes all the sense in the world. You see that separation early. Already now there's a group of women, including several, almost all of the Americans, I believe, Monson, Infield, and Cooper, all back there. But there is a potential in this quick kind of race to set up the stage for trying to get qualifiers into next year's World Championship where their fitness is in a good spot towards the tail end of their season.
It's a huge opportunity. You get that in the bag right now, then you can plan out your schedule quite differently next year. They know they're fit. This is a perfect night for running. You can look at the flags and they've died down a little bit from the wind that was out there earlier. It's set up to run fast and you have company to do it. So a lot of people are using their fitness to go after that 15:10 world qualifier mark as well, and you'll see that a little further back in the pack. So there's really two races going on to a degree here, and you see that second group there just on those lights leading them out.
Yeah, already that separation back to about 10th position where Alicia Monson, Emily Enfield, and Abby Cooper are running basically alongside each other. Laura Galvan of Mexico, part of that group, about 4 seconds back of the lead pack, or at least the back of the lead pack when they came through that last full lap of the track. Hassan now settling in all by herself. We talked about the triple performance in Tokyo. Amazing, outstanding range. World record in the mile, world record in the 1 hour run. You can appreciate that distance. What do you love about Sifan Hassan?
Oh my gosh, the range is just incredible. And I think, you watch the feed from Tokyo and you listen to the commentary. It's like, hey, she's going to settle right in on the back. So the first question you ask yourself is, how is she going to handle this sort of pursuit where she's got to go out and just step on the gas from the gun? You only have to look back to 2019 1500 meter world championships where she got antsy after one lap and went right from right from that lap and just pushed the pace and won that by leading out front. So she can do it however she likes. She has the strength, she has the speed, and that's all going to come into play tonight where she's going to need to utilize all of it.
Hard always to compare different racing styles and different races, but if we go back to the world record by Latasenet Gebde of Ethiopia, she ran her first kilometer in 2:51.10, and the pace brought them through the first kilometer in 2:49.37. So right on that pace, maybe slightly under, and it really now has turned into a time trial with Hassan right behind the two pace setters. Kate Van Buskirk, the Canadian, three-time Canadian national champion, made it to Tokyo in her own right at 5,000 meters. And then behind her, Beatrice Chibet of Kenya, the 2018 World Junior Champion. Van Buskirk now off the track, and Chibet driving the bus here through 1,400 meters and 4 minutes into this race.
You have to appreciate the quality of the pacer, the type of athlete that it takes to be able to help Hassan try to accomplish what she's getting after. They're Olympic finalists themselves. That's how good she is, and they're just going to set her up to go out and have an amazing performance. And it's taxing to them. You can see it, and that's why they step off early. But she's in a good position because of those high-quality athletes who can dial in the pace and know the effort, but also understand how important it is to just lock in and really set her up for success.
And those lights continuing to run alongside them, maybe slightly ahead of those. Chibet again trying to drive here quickly to keep the rhythm going for Hassan. At some point, Chibet's going to have to step off the track. The combination of the lights the crowd, but what does Hassan have to do to really dial in to make sure that she's still pursuing that world record?
That's the challenge. That's what we're going to see, where she really has to go to work, and she doesn't look incredibly comfortable, but to be honest, she never really looks that smooth. And she's trying to do something totally unique, which is be out front and just test herself. It's truly a you versus you scenario, and yes, she has the clock, but if she can be a little bit better than that 14:06, then it's a win. If she can get past her PR, I think she's going to be able to crush it. I think you look at her credentials and what she's done this year, that PR is well underneath her. So we're going to see a big successful day from her no matter what. It's going to be how bad she wants it once Chebet steps off. And it's really just testing herself and pushing for every second, because she wants to break the record, but she would love to crush it as well.
Hassan's lifetime best of 14:22.12 back in 2019 as they came through the second kilometer in 5:39.05. The leader in the race that Gaudet ran in that set the world record came through in 5:42.73. Gaudet didn't lead till 3,000 meters, so it was kind of letting the leaders carry her through. In this case, all it is the pace setter Chebet, and Hassan about 2 or 3 strides behind.
She's really digging in too, and Chebet's doing a great job just holding that blue line. She looks like she's doing exactly what they've asked, and Sifan's still sitting on that yellow-green line right there as well, so she knows exactly where she's at in relation to this record. I think she's really very aware of how to pace herself. You saw that with the hour record. She really sat on Kazgai for a good amount of time, but she had a lot left over that final few minutes to just bury it. So she's aware of how to expend her energy.
And now Chebet has come off the track. And as we come around the final turn here, this is halfway in the race, 2,500 meters down, and just about that 7-minute mark as we keep an eye again on this clock in the back half of the race. 14:06.62 is Gaudet's record set during the pandemic in 2020. And those lights, the green ones, the ones to keep an eye on as Hassan stride for stride with them as they now have 6 laps to go.
Huge factor tonight is that crowd. You can hear it being in front of that energy in this stadium after that amazing presentation. You feel like you should be doing something special. This is where you want Hayward magic, and that's what she's trying to create out on the track right now.
Well, and you witnessed it firsthand. We've seen it over and over the years. I've been very fortunate to call a lot of races in this stadium over the last quarter century. It doesn't matter if you're wearing green and yellow or you're wearing the red, white, and blue. These fans come to appreciate the quality of the racing they see from whoever they see. And in this case, they are on their feet already with Hassan. Now losing just a little bit of connection to the back of that green line. And as she comes down the main home straightaway where the bulk of the crowd is, they're getting onto their feet, getting loud in this new reimagined Hayward Field as she'll come to line through 3,000 meters and 5 laps to go.
It's slipping away just a little bit, and this is the hard part of the race. Naturally, she's going to be thinking about all those laps she did in Tokyo, all that effort she put in. Is that in my legs still? Of course it is, but she has to fight against it and tell herself, I'm fine, I'm fresh, I can chase those lights in front of me.
So that last lap, about 68.7, still through 3 kilometers ahead of Gaudet's pace at the world record. She came through in 8:30.54, where Gaudet went through in 8:31.85. But it really now is the opportunity to feed off the energy of this crowd. Jas Hermans is out there on the track again, giving her some support and some encouragement as she works her way down the far side of the track and comes back into this amphitheater style welcoming home straight at the new Hayward Field.
This is the grind. This is where you have to find every reason to push on. Maybe she's thinking about Gaudet taking back that 10K record 48 hours after she said it. That's got to sting, and no, she wants Gaudet's 5,000 meter record here. It's slipping away, and she's got to use every bit of motivation to just step on the gas here these final few laps.
Less than a mile to go for the mile world record holder on the track. Did that in Monaco a few years ago. But everybody on their feet here at Hayward Field for this last race of the night, well into the 10 o'clock hour here in Eugene, as they tried to wait for the last bit of the valley wind to die down in this late summer, and the flags, which she sees at the end of this straightaway adjacent to the tower, are now still as ever. So perfect conditions trying to wind up for this final pursuit.
This is brave running. It's slipping away from her, but she's still out front. She's still pushing. You don't see her giving up. And we know what she just did over in Tokyo. We know she's tired. She's still out here trying to put on a show and be her best for this crowd. She's going to want to break after this, and she's earned it.
Yeah, that last lap was her slowest of the race, up to 70.1. You can see her grimacing a little bit on her face now. She comes to the line with 3 laps to go. And Des, it just feels like the pace has slowed on her again. And indeed it has, 71.83 on that last lap.
You see it slowing, and then you look in the rear view, and it just reminds you how good she is. She has a monumental gap on a very good field. These women are trying to get their world standard. This is who she's going to be competing against in Eugene 2022. Right here. And so look at that gap and just appreciate how good she is relative to this field.
20 seconds back of the leader Hassan is Teferi, and then it's Lois Chemnung of Kenya, and then Worku of Ethiopia. Chenlingat of Kenya back in 5th position, and then the 2 Americans running very well, 6th and 7th, Alicia Monson and Abby Cooper. They have smartly not tried to chase the lead pack, settling in and trying to dial in on a good, low 14-minute performance.
Very tough, gritty running by Munson and Cooper. You expect that from Cooper. We're learning that about Munson. She's just come out as a pro and really established herself, making that 10K team, and she's having a great run tonight. Really smart. She's going to have bodies to chase down over the next couple laps to just help her put away a big PR.
Finished 13th at Tokyo. In the 10,000, the NCAA Indoor 5,000 meter champ at Wisconsin. But here is Hassan with less than 2 laps to go. Has definitely lost the battle with the wave lights as the pace has just gotten away from her, but she's still grinding out in front of this standing and appreciative audience on the backstretch at Hayward Field.
Appreciative indeed. I mean, to put out there that you're going to go after that 14:06 point and try to take that down after that big effort she just put in Tokyo, that's brave. To put it on the line, get the crowd out here to watch you have an amazing breakthrough, have a monumental moment, or unfortunately fail spectacularly, and that's okay too, to just put it on the line and say, hey, come and watch me try.
Well, she comes down the main straightaway for the penultimate time. Everybody on their feet, as this will not be a world record night at Hayward Field, but still witnessing the greatness of Sifan Hassan. 1 lap to go.
It won't be a world record, Paul, but it's also not really a race. She's opened this thing up and just established herself as one of the greatest to grace the track.
And now the battle behind her for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Teferi, Worku, and Chemnung, with a good battle brewing here. All 3 of them in the mix. Abby Cooper has now moved up into 5th as Hassan heads down the backstretch for the final time.
That battle for 2nd is pretty incredible as well. You have to remember, Teferi is a 14:15 woman. That's incredibly fast running, and you see her battling out for 2nd well back.
Well, coming off the final turn, less than 100 meters to go. Sifan Hassan, not to be a world record-setting day, but after running more than 61 laps on the Tokyo track to take home 3 medals, she runs some more here and takes the win at 5,000 meters in 14:27.89. And now the race behind her for 2nd, with Teferi will make it to the line with the 2nd place finish.
Munson